Hello, Transformers fans. It's Jodimus Prime. How are you? Welcome to part 2 of our comparison of Combiner Wars Devastator. This is the Takara Tomy edition, Unite Warriors edition, versus the oversized Jinbao Gravity Builder yellow set. In the middle, we just have Optimus Prime, Earthrise as a comparison, and also a Legend Scale Bumblebee. Um, so to just start our comparison, we look at the Combiner Wars first. The arms are kind of weird, as you can see. um, um, they're very simplistic. Articulation, of course, definitely better than your G1. But as far as a figure this size in the modern era, um, it's a little bit simplistic because Hasbro probably figured out that you probably won't display your figures this way, but the combined Devastator mode. So you can see some hollowness on the legs there, hollowness on the arms. It did come with a gun because this is the Unite Warriors edition, and some cartoon accurate colors. This is kind of like a cumbersome piece right here. It just stays there, does not even fold, so when you have him standing, it's just on the back. Nice head sculpt though. It's very cartoon accurate. So yeah, cartoon accuracy. Of course, the Combiner Wars edition still wins. The Jinbao is more of like an IDW aesthetic to it. I really like that head sculpt that they put in here. Really nicely articulated figures. But the guns are a little bit loose on the hands. That's what I observed. But very nicely articulated. Very nice proportions on the figures. Hardly any hollowness. As you can see, the arms are all filled out, legs all filled out. The cab folds in neatly to become one of the legs. The engineering is just over the top on these Jinbao figures. They did a really good job. This is not the first time I purchased the oversized figure. The first one was the oversized Warbotron Bruticus, which is also an excellent figure. I put fresh Decepticon logos on these guys, so all of them have the logos in play. So just look at a 360 view. A little bit of a backpack because this one becomes a Devastator's head. But other than that, nicely scaled. The figures though have a little bit of a issue with the ankles. The ankle joints are not very strong on these Jinbao figures, and it's a little bit loose. That they can't hold the weapons very well. The fists are a little bit loose, but other than that, very nicely executed. As you can see, yeah, this is a Voyager's figure, Voyager size figure, and a Legends figure right there. As you can see, they're all lined up. We'll go to the next figure now. This figure number 2, Long Haul. Combiner Wars Long Haul. A lot of reviewers are complaining about the proportions on this guy, and I agree. Really small arms, really chunky legs, as you can see. Not so much, oh well, a little bit of hollowness in the arms again. Very limited movement. And yeah, it's just the chunky looking figure. Again, he comes with this rifle. That's how he compares to like Earthrise, Optimus Prime, and the Legends Bumblebee. In the meantime, we have our long haul Jinbao edition. This one's Decepticon logos is different than the others, while the others have like a purple logo, this one is actually a white logo on top of a purple part of the figure. I was not able to put a logo similar to like the original long haul right here, because there's not really a place to put that symbol in there. I didn't want to put it on one side here, so I figured we'll just put it on his shoulders, and that looks nice actually. Again, very articulated on the Jinbao. So you can see the 360 view. You can just admire the engineering that went into these figures for the upscaling of the Gravity Builder figure. And very nice proportions. So you can see next to this long hole versus this long hole. This one is just all over the place, but this one's more proportional. I mean, he's still a big chunky guy, but he's chunky everywhere. Whereas this guy, he's chunky in the bottom, but then his arms are really spindly, so that's a little bit disappointing. A recurring theme on these Jinbao figures is you can display them on alt mode or robot mode or combined mode. Take your pick, they will still look great on either on your display. I will display this guy on combined mode ultimately, because when we display it on combined mode, you save more room that way. Same with the Unite Warriors Devastator. I'll also display that in combined mode ultimately. Moving on, we have Scavenger now here. We'll go look at Unite Warrior Scavenger first. So you can see it's nicely articulated. Ball joints on the shoulders, on the thighs, got a knee, and a little bit of ankle tiltage. No waist articulation, and the bucket just sits here on his back. A little bit of hollowness again on the arms and on the legs. One thing that you won't be able to unsee once you're seeing it is this piece right here. That is just obscene. I don't know. That just looks funny to me. But again, you're not gonna display these guys on individual robots, but rather the combined Devastator mode, so you won't have to see that. Looking at long haul, I mean Scavenger, Jinbao edition, nicely ratcheted arms. Could go up and down, side to side. These fists also turn. Waist articulation. And again, ratcheted thighs, and then the thigh swivel there. So you can really make some dynamic poses with these super massive guys. And again, fresh Decepticon symbol on the chest. The only thing I don't like about these guys are the treads for feet. For the Jinbao are these parts over here. This one doesn't tab in as well as this other piece right here. I don't know if it's and I don't want to force it, because if you force it, it might not come off and you might break your figure. So I just leave the one part not tabbed in and the other heel tabbed in. The scoop, again, you can't really fold it anywhere. It just sits there on his back, unfortunately. But at least these guys have like superposability because of the heels and the big feet. So it's not really an issue for your back portion, for the backpack being so heavy. I suppose you can put it in the front, but I'd rather just put it in the back like that to display it. We're now looking at Bone Crusher figure on the Hasbro. This is probably one of the stronger figures that they have. As you can see, it's rather nicely proportioned, not very much hollowness, but there's still a little bit, but not as it's not as obscene as the others were when it comes to hollowness. Just really nice head sculpt, very cartoon accurate. The Combiner Wars edition is a little bit painted different than this one. I'm not sure which one is the animation accurate, if it's this one or the Combiner Wars edition. Please leave me a comment if you want. It helps out the channel. Also, yeah, he's got a nice head sculpt. I remember this is like cartoon accurate. Really holds firm. If I can say something positive about these Hasbro figures, is that can hold the guns really well on them, while these guys are a little bit loose on other figures. And the aesthetics of the Bone Crusher is spot on when it comes to the cartoon accuracy. When it comes to the Jinbao figure, this Bone Crusher figure is probably the weakest among the set, to me anyways, just because these shoulder bits tend to hinder the posability. All this kibble is like preventing the figure from posing properly, but I'm not sure how they could have addressed that wedge piece on the bulldozer so that it could be more poseable. But it's not too terrible. Again, he has a waist swivel. Again, the guns are a little bit loose holding. The head sculpt is a little bit different from the Hasbro one. This one looks more like a Grimlock sculpt than a Bone Crusher. Again, the ankles on this one is a little bit weak because one of the ends doesn't tab in, similar to the Scavenger. This one's tabs in pretty good. Actually, just came off. It tabs in very shallow, and then this other one doesn't tab in at all. So I just leave it be so that we won't have a problem with them later. Because ultimately, all these guys will be combined. And I'll show it to you on part 3 of this 3-part set. The part 1 is comparing vehicle modes. Part 2 is what you're seeing right now, robot modes to robot mode. And part 3 is the combined mode. I'm now looking forward to transforming these guys back into their vehicle modes and arm modes and such, because OMG, they are engineered so well that it'll probably take me a good few hours to transform all of them. Now, if you're it's easy for some of you, but me, between my wife and I, we have three kids, and with 2 small children, and I just don't have the time sometimes to like put together these videos and also transforming these toys. It's a good hobby of mine, and I love my wife for allowing me to pursue my passions, and I just really appreciate that. Anyways, on to the next figure. Figure number 4 is Scrapper, and this is one of those figures that has the most similarity among the 2 versions of Scrapper. You have the Combiner Wars and the Jinbao edition in here. So you can see almost the same head sculpt. The bucket is sits in the same place right on their backs. The wheels, head sculpts are somewhat similar, although again the Jinbao is more like IDW style. The Combiner Wars has the type of hollowness, and as you can see, the joints are just the elbows they put articulation in it, but it's just really terrible because it's hanging by a little pin. It's got some articulation. It has some ankle tilt. I don't think the other figures have as much ankle tilt as this one. But again, nice G1 looking weapon. And again, this guy looks like he jumped out of the cartoon as for his aesthetics. Scrapper on the Jinbao edition. I mean, you don't have to get the yellow oversized one. There's a set that's available in purple and green also, but I chose the yellow just because I don't have this I don't have a G2 Devastator color figure, and I thought it would be you know. Again, I mentioned this on the first video. It's like a power up upgrade from this mold to that. And plus, it's more common to see yellow construction vehicles than the bright green and purple. And so in short, it's more realistic colors for this type of Devastator. Again, these guys are engineered so well that everything just folds up. And it's gonna be a pain to transform them back to their alternate modes. There's these rails right here that are kind of hindering the movement again, but not so bad. Again, I will display these guys in combined mode in the future. Just wanted to make sure, because I just received this Jinbao set a few days ago, or a week or two ago, and I want to make sure that all the individual pieces fit together, transform properly, and finally combine it to the Devastator mode to see if everything is there. I bought it from an eBay seller in China. It didn't come with an original box, so that's one of those things that I want to make sure that everything's there, so that if there's anything wrong, I can still possibly contact the seller to make sure that we're all good. We're all good. But so far, it's been good. No broken pieces. Nothing seems to be missing. And we'll just put together the Devastator set. And then we'll see. Stand by for that review on part 3 on the combined mode. And just like that, we've reached the last figure. Mixmaster. For both sets, this is my least favorite on both sets. For the Combiner Wars, because he's got this bug tail right here. Looks like an insect's tail. And there's no getting away from it. That's just awful. Really bulky feet. Arms are just not proportional, and you know, got long upper arm and really tiny tiny forearm. For the head, I think you can, yeah, there's some head articulation, but yeah, it'll be hindered by this part right here. Again, some hollowness, super hollowness over here, really thin arm. So yeah, the Hasbro Combiner Wars did not give a lot of love to to Mixmaster, the poor figure. In vehicle mode, arm mode, vehicle mode, foot mode, and robot mode, they just did not give enough love to this figure. So poor Mixmaster. Hopefully they'll come up with a better figure for him in later releases. The Jinbao Mixmaster. Again, I mentioned this is my least favorite among the 6. I don't like the chunkiness of the legs again. These ankles are very loose, so he's very unstable. If there's anything that we can knock on the Jinbao, some of the ankles are very loose, which makes for some stability issues. I thought about putting some clear nail polish on the joints just to make it stand out a little bit better, but why do that if you're just gonna combine it to the Devastator mode anyways? The cement mixer is a little bit better concealed, so you can see which back is better. This one looks a lot better than this insect tail right here. That just looks horrible. Yeah, this one has a very complex transformation, and so, like I said, I'm gonna sit down and take a few hours to like combine them again, and then we'll go for part 3. I'm making this video again, so if you're considering to buying a Combiner Wars Devastator, they're re-releasing this set. Not this particular one, because this is the Unite Warriors one. This is the Japan release. I don't think they'll re-release that one, but I think the US version is what they'll be re-releasing. The US version, though, doesn't have any guns, and some people say it's not cartoon accurate. The Unite Warriors one has more cartoon accuracy with the colors and everything. And you have like little bit details like painted the wheel rims, whereas the Combiner Wars is just straight out black. The Jinbao I just purchased a couple weeks ago. Take home price is about 150 plus tax. That comes with shipping already. Just be cautious of your which sellers you purchase from eBay. If you want any tips, send me a comment, send me direct message, and I'll share my my buying tips so that you won't buy the wrong figure. I have in the past. But usually if you message the seller prior to selling, prior to buying, you usually get more positive results. That's what I started to do with my international purchases, and yeah, this works out better that way. Anyways, I'm gonna end this video now so we can go see each other on part 3. Stay tuned for that, and thank you for staying for the duration of the video. And so, in conclusion, for the robots that we covered, Unite Warriors Devastator on the left, Jinbao Devastator on the right. Out of total points of 5, articulation goes to Jinbao. Complexity of transformation, Jinbao by a mile. Proportion, Jinbao. G1 likeness goes to Unite Warriors Devastator set. Stability of robot joints. This has something to do with the weak ankles. I give that to the Unite Warriors Devastator because even though they are kind of hollow, I have a easier time standing them up. The Jinbao's ankles sometimes are loose, so the figures tend to fall over if you're not careful. Anyways, Unite Warriors gets 2 out of 5, and Jinbao gets 3 out of 5 on this category. And please stay tuned for part 3. Thank you.